Hey everyone, this is Alan, and today I will talk about how how was the process of learning a skill until it paid for me. And I will base this in something that happened with me some years ago. And let's start. So in 2020, I decided I would not go back to taking bus rides every day because I grew in a small city in Brazil, and to go to college, I had to spend like 5 hours on a bus every day. It was like 2 through 3 hours to go to college, and then 2 more or 3 more hours to come back to my home. And I use it to get out of my house at 4 p.m. and get back like at 1 a.m. So I spent years with this routine, and it was something that I really that did not work for me because I had to wait a lot. I even tried to study a little bit in the bus, but I was not that motivated to do that, and I would waste and lose a lot of hours in my day. And it was for like 3 or 4 years because it was the time that I was going to college. And what I decided at that time is that I would stop doing that. I decided to not take buses every day to go to work or to study. And for that I knew that I should move out from my city that I actually live in the same city right now, but now I work online, so it's not a problem. But I decided at that time that I should develop a skill that would let me move out from my house or try to work online. And what actually gets you out from a situation like this is a skill that someone already pays for, and it might not be the one you like the most, but because at the time the thing that I liked the most was playing Dota, and no one was paying me that. So I had to look for things that people were already willing to pay, and I tried to look for these things to learn them. So when you are trying to develop a new skill with the intent to make money or to work online, to work in a way that you get paid more, you will need to go after demands that already exists, and not something that you hope for, and not something that you like that much. I won't say that you should not like your work, but because I really enjoy working, I like my work, but sometimes you will not start liking it right away. So try to look for things for demand that already exists. And it might be someone near you, and it might be like this month or this week. And I know that if you are from a city that is really small like mine, it will not be that easy, but I just say this to give you some ideas, because you need to start looking after problems you can solve, and not like, don't look after money you can make, look after problems you can solve, and learn to solve new problems from time to time. And also you need to take into account a floor you can come back if everything breaks. So in my case, it was my parents house, because I knew that if I wanted to move out and if it did not work, I could come back. Or maybe it is a work that you don't like that much, but let's say a good example. Maybe you already work, so you already have money to pay your bills, but you want to make more money. So instead of quitting your job right now, try. I know that it is really tiring, and it's not something easy, but it might be better for you to try to make more money with the small amount of time that you have, than quitting your job right now without being prepared if everything goes wrong. And uh, I make this comparison when you chose when things are chosen by feeling, and when you actually try to look for the anchor skill. So the anchor skill is something that you pick by based on what someone already buys. So it is something that is in demand. You also you also try to point based on three real payments you can point at. So real things, real proofs you can have with your skill. So let's say it's better to work building a website because you can show people the website you built. So if you even if you just do a project tree study, you already have proof. And when you develop a website to a client, you will have more proof for the next clients. And if it all breaks when you choose things by feeling, you have to start over. But with the anchor skill, you just restart. You can do things again, and it takes less time. So the anchor is not the skill that makes you rich. It is the one that it gives you ground. So for me, the anchor skill was building websites in WordPress with Elementor. This skill helped me a lot. I know that right now with AI, it is not something that is that high on demand compared to the time that I worked with it, but it was not something that I liked that much, but it was what made it possible for me to learn how to code while I had money, while I was able to pay my bills. And it was the skill that brought me a lot of experience. So uh, I got this idea of anchor skill from the founder of Hotmart, and he is Brazilian, so he said in Portuguese. But the anchor skill is a skill that gives you solid ground to stabilize yourself again. And I also got this part from the text High Agency in 30 Minutes from George Mack. You wake up in a third world jail cell. You are only allowed to call one person. You know how to get out of there. Who do you call? So having high agency is like one of the anchor skills that you could have. And in my case, let me also uh, rephrase this again in a better way, because not it was not the being able to develop websites with Elementor that gave me ground. It was the ability to learn by myself, because no one taught me how. I did not have a teacher, I did not have a senior teaching me how to make websites with Elementor, and how to provide service for clients, how to work as a freelancer. I did not have that. I learned it by myself because I knew how to learn things. So I would say that my anchor skill is learning how to learn. And I will be honest. The anchor skill will give you things and will not give you other things. So what it gives you income. You can restart. So if Elementary and WordPress did not work for me, I knew that I could try to learn another thing. So it gives you options and the right to say no, and it gives you time to look for the rest. And it will not give you calling, meaning, and a ceiling. It will not be easy even. So it might. I know that it is not fun to restart your career trying another thing. But if you are based yourself in an anchor skill, maybe it will be selling, maybe it will be networking, or like writing code. And there are a lot of different anchor skills for different people. So so if you pick it only by demand and you trade one cage for another, the anchor is the floor, never the ceiling. So it will not be the end. So I right now work with AI. I used the skill of learning how to learn because I had to learn how to work with AI, how to use AI in my daily work. But I will not stop at that. Now I have other things that I need to improve on. So I will propose an exercise for you to do today and this week actually, and think about three skills and three proofs of demand for each, and cut the rest. So write about three skills you could charge for within 90 days, for which for each one find three proofs, like an ad, a job post, a person who paid last month. So maybe it will be working with AI. So maybe you can. There were people that did this to me. A guy came to on my Instagram, and I really appreciate his initiative. And he created a thumbnail with AI for me and gave it to me. So it was proof. I ended up not using it because on my case I prefer to not use AI generated thumbnails, but there is a demand for that, and that was his proof. He can use that thumbnail to show to other people what he's able to create. So the skill was creating thumbnails with AI, and the proof was a thumbnail he created. And if you end up thinking about a skill without the three proofs, you actually will take it off the list off from the list, so it will not work. And it I say this because you need to think about things that you can show to people, because when you are starting, when you don't have track record, you will need to show right away what you are able to do. People will not trust you that easily. My idea of having proof is based also in you being able to explain what you do out loud to someone, show it done, the thing itself, and show a result to someone else's. So, for example, today I delivered a project for for a shop, and it was to help their sellers to talk with their clients in WhatsApp. And the proof that I have is like I have a print screen, I have a tutorial, I can record a video showing the system, so it is a proof. I can talk about the system to other people that have the same problems. I developed this system to be able to show people that were not answered and people that are waiting a lot of days to have an answer. Maybe people, the sellers will who actually forget to answer to some leads, so I can come to them and tell to them, oh, I have a system that will help you to not forget to answer your clients. And this is the system. I can show it on in a screen on my computer, on my cell phone, and that is a proof. So every lesson in this series ends on these three ideas, and if you fail one, you are not there yet. So I will bring more videos talking about this idea of learning things, working, learning things to work with, and a perspective about how you could work. And these are the things that actually made sense for me and that I learned because I've been working as a freelancer and as a developer for 3 years, and as a freelancer for 4 to 5 years already. So I have some experience and things I can share with you. So what I learned based on my experience, when I think about and I look back at my days that I took buses every day, is that you do not need a new city, you don't need to move, you need a skill that someone pays for. And these are all the contents that I that I based this video on, and you will find them in the description. And for the ones that stayed until the end, I only named what I was chasing 6 years later. So I started looking after ways to work online and to make money, and it was only in June of this year that I was in a therapy session that I pulled out the word that I had never said before: freedom. So I actually value freedom a lot. So it has been the reason all along. I did not know it while I was on the buses, but I hated not having the freedom to. I was stuck for hours in the same routine without having options. I was stuck in a schedule that I did not like that much. So what I was missing was freedom. And yeah, all my decisions right now are based on at least not losing my freedom on medium and long term. And I'm able to lose my freedom in short term because sometimes I would need to work more or go to another place to learn or to have new opportunities. But on long term, I prefer to not to at least not lose the freedom that I have right now. And the freedom that I have right now is being able to work online, to work at the time that I want, and this is really good for me. So I will see you guys in the next video.